exploration companies exhibiting. We had to pick just one. We're picking a graphite name, Mason Graphite. Now, they are working on a project that looks like it's one of the richest graphite deposits in the world in terms of grade. Graphite, of course, a form of carbon. We are joined now by the boss of Mason Graphite, Benoit Gasson, CEO. Great to see you.
Thank you very much.
So graphite, we know it's in pencils, obviously, but most graphite around the world used in steel making.
In volume-wise, it's in steel making, in refractories, good growing application is everything that relates to electrical application for batteries, lithium-ion, but also alkaline batteries.
Now, tell us about your mine and why the ore is, tell us how rich the ore is there.
The property was discovered recently, and we bought it and started to work on it less than 2 years ago. We were able to have an estimate of our resource and then completed a PEA. The PEA returned excellent results with the first 22 years at 27%, which only represent 10% of the resource that we have today.
Some of the rock is so heavy at graphite there, it even feels slimy. You can use it to make a mark on paper.
Yeah, you can write. Yeah, with some of the rocks that we have, it's right on surface. You kick a rock and you see the flake of graphite visually, which is kind of unique. The only other graphite mine in operation in North America has a 6% carbon content in the ore.
And you used to run that mine in Quebec?
Also, yes, for the past 20 years.
And over the past couple of decades, you've been marketing graphite around the world, and that's the tough thing, finding actual buyers and working out the customer deals.
Exactly, because you need to find and deal with the customers on a one-to-one basis. So the end users, you need to define the specification of the product, both the chemical and the physical properties, the thickness of the flake, large flake, medium size, the carbon content, everything needs to be negotiated because graphite is an additive that goes into their formulation, so it will interact with the rest of the other minerals and metals that they're using.
Right, so we're looking at how the large flake stuff sells for a higher valuation. Now, I don't want to, we can't get too technical here, but your deposit is it doesn't have that many large flakes, does it? It's relatively on the smaller side. Is that a drawback here?
It's not a drawback because of the volume of that we have. We're around 30% of large material.
Okay.
And if you include the medium-sized material, we increase to a higher amount. But mind you, there's a market for the fine, the medium, and the large flake. And that's exactly what I was producing at the other graphite mine. We had to sell the full production. That's the tricky part, and that's where you need to have the close relationship with the customer.
And your mine could be big. I mean, you're thinking about producing about 50,000 tons of graphite every year, but the global market's only about 400,000 tons, or you say it's a bit bigger. That sounds like a lot of the world's supply, though.
It's less than 10% of the world's supply in terms of rated capacity. If you want to be in a position to work with your customer on the long term, to have them further develop new application, and that there's a lot of work being done. And when you plan a mine, you plan for decades in advance. So the market has been growing over the past 20 years and will continue to grow, basically with the traditional application. But if you add EV cars, which could add also a lot of demand for the graphite, you need to be there to work with the customer and tell them to continue developing, and we'll be there with you to work and supply you for decades.
Yeah, it's like a bit like vanadium or something. People need to know they'll be able to get the material before they plan to use it.
Exactly. Stable and consistent source of supply.
And of course we forget lithium-ion batteries use so much carbon.
Yeah, exactly. Much more carbon graphite than lithium.
And you guys just invested in a graphene company.
Yes.
And graphene ultimately could build some scary fast computers. So you're looking to the future in electronics as well?
It's a material that has a lot of potential going into the future. I don't know exactly when there will be a commercial application with sizable volume, but if it happens, we'll be there. The good thing is it's made of natural graphite, of flake graphite, so we would be a supplier, so producer on it, and also increasing or broadening our portfolio of product, adding graphene to it. Graphite end user today is a potential graphene user, so it will be the same customer base for a good portion of the future application. applications.
So what's next for you guys? Do you have to raise money to move ahead, or?
We're in the process of doing that.
Okay.
What we're doing, we completed another drilling program just a couple of weeks ago. Results have not been released yet. They will help us in further defining the open pit, the results that we got from the PEA. We're starting a feasibility study, pilot plant also, bulk sampling at springtime, complete additional metallurgy to further optimize that, and to have the conclusion by the end of this year, beginning of next year in terms of construction decision.
We're less than a minute, Benoit, but have you any customers lined up yet?
We're in discussion with some customers, strategic partners also, regarding their future supply of graphite.
Right, we've only about 30 seconds, I'm sorry, but how much would the mine cost roughly to build? Do you have any kind
The
of...
direct CapEx, 90 million, which is low, but the main thing is the operating cost estimated at the PEA at $390 a ton, where the product sells at $1,500 a ton.
That's the old high grade. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Benoit Gascon is the boss of Mason Graphite.